Good evening to all the participants joining us from across the country. On behalf of the Beneficiary Schemes Directorate of ICAI, it is our privilege to extend a very warm welcome to each one of you to today's live webcast on the thought-provoking topic, What if your family conducted your performance appraisal? As a chartered accountants, we regularly evaluate financial performances, assess risk, ensure compliances, and strive to achieve professional excellence. We diligently work towards meeting deadlines, exceeding client expectations, and accomplishing organizational goals. Yet, amidst this relentless pursuits of professional success, an important question often remains unanswered. If our families were to evaluate us, would they measure our success by the number of clients we served, the audits we completed, or the quality of time, attention, and care we shared with them? So today's theme gently reminds us that while professional achievements and recognition in boardrooms, the relationship we neutral at homes defines our true legacy. We are indeed delighted to have with us today's speaker, C. Bhavesh Mahajan, a distinguished chartered accountant, accomplished corporate trainer, and motivational speaker who is widely admired for his engaging communication style and practical insights into leadership, personal effectiveness, and life management. With these words, I am handing over this to C.A. Bhavesh Mahajan.
Thank you, uh, team Beneficiary Directorate of ICI. Special thanks to the convener and the deputy convener of the directorate, Dr. C.A. Durgesh Kabraji and Rajendra PG, respectively. Very thought-provoking topic of today's. What if our family review our performance? Very rightly said in the introduction that we chartered accountants are more interested in what is happening, what outside, how we are dealing with the people, how we are dealing with the clients, how we are dealing with others in the society. But most of the time, we take our family, our friends, our near dear ones who are not economically or financially resourced for us taken for granted. It's a very normal human psyche that since we don't have to perform for them, so their expectations are always kept at the least of the priorities many a times, especially when we are in a growth stage, especially when we are establishing our practices, when we are establishing our career, when we are doing hard works, we are in the best of our performing ages. At that time, we walk over so many moments, so many things, so many incidences where we were expected to conduct in a different way for our family's sake and for our friends and near dear ones, but we missed out on that. And once it's missed out, it remains as a pain point in the minds and the heart of our families and the dear ones. And they never say it at that time, but slowly, slowly, what happens is they keep on evaluating us on certain parameters which we never realize. So starting with the today's deliberation, Tech, if you can confirm whether the PPT is visible, sharing is visible, or I need to share it again, I think. Yes. Okay. Now I think it's visible. So the topic for today is what if your family conducts your performance appraisal? Family conducts your performance appraisal. That means there is a shift in the table. We as an auditor always boast about, or we take our liberty that we are doing the appraisal work, or we are doing the audit of our client or this, and we raise questions which may be comfortable or which may be disturbing for our clients to answer for. But when the table shift and we become the auditee, and the toughest part is we are not the auditee for our peer reviewers, but auditee of someone which is our family, who is not measuring us or who is not evaluating us on parameters related to finances, but non-financial performances of ours at different point of time. So it's beyond billable hours, measuring success at home. This is one of the toughest audit that we need to take every day, every time in the whole life. So as I said, we evaluate our staff, we evaluate articles, we evaluate clients and evaluate businesses. But just think a point, if we have to be evaluated, our spouse, parents and children, they sit together and evaluate us on the other side of the table. Just imagine yourself sitting on a different side of the table with three of these people like spouse, parents and children conducting your audit. Not as CA, not as partner, not as an employer, but simply as their role as a husband, a wife, a son, daughter, a father, or a mother. What would your performance rating be? The family performance appraisal chart will feel something like this. At employee's name, it will be ours. Department, it will be family. Reporting manager, spouse, or anyone else. And review committee, children and parents. Attendance, whether we are physically present or and emotionally absent. Communication, it definitely needs an improvement. Availability, always busy. Response time, immediate for clients but delayed for family. Promotion recommendation will always be pending. This is a fictional review, but perhaps not so fictional for us. Just think deep inside yourself. By the end of this almost 90 to 95 minutes of deliberation, we will again look back to this thing. We will again find out how many of us ultimately leads to promotion or ultimately have a good performance appraisal when it comes to family. Please mind and please note, during this deliberation, we will be looking at so many things which each one of us might have experienced personally or otherwise, have seen in our friends and systems, might have thought about it one time or the other, but due to our so-called busyness, might have just walked over it because again, it's taking for granted when it comes to non-monetary things. The toughest appraisal is not done in office. It is silently done. Please note, it is silently done every day at home by the people who love you most, who never had you perform but feel your absence deep. They will not charge sheet you. They will not give you an audit report. They will not give you a disclaimer. But slowly, they will be evaluating you. They will be looking at each step of yours outside the office with them, your conduct, your presence, your absence, your missing out on important events, your response time, everything. And mind it, it's everything, maybe by your spouse or even by your small minor child who might not understand the intricacies of the financials and the other aspects you take up in the offices, but still for him or her, you are his or her superhero. So the first thing we need to understand is time spent overweighs salary. Your child is not worried about or is not concerned about how much is your salary. It's just a number for them, even not a number for them because they don't understand these things. It doesn't matter to him or her whether you earn in 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures, or whatever it is. But when did your child last remember you playing with them? In the rush or in the race to getting more zeros in your bank account or in your pay scale or whatever it is, you are missing always the game of cricket in the backyard. Have you ever played it? Simple running, simple bombing, people doing ringa ringa roses, doing silly things which we think about kids silly, but it matters a lot for a child. A child who plays with his or her friends, just watch them. Small, small play things. When have we been there, that friend? When have we spent our time playing those small, small things which we used to be when we were children? They were the most precious thing for us at that time. We need to understand that the outcome that we get from the office might not be the things that our family requires. Means if we think that whatever we are doing in the office, whatever we are getting from the offices, it's actually for what the family requires. It might not be 100% true. Family needs something more than what we get from the office. Just compare things. What office rewards? It rewards us salary. It rewards us bonus, increment, promotion. They all are financials. These feel significant in the moment, but fade with time. You get salary every month. You get bonuses every on a performance based, increments, promotions. But these all come with the increment of all these comes with more demand for the time, more demand of your assess, more of your. They demand more and more of yours. And what are the family memories? Dinner together, bedtime story for the children, weekend walks, vacation, and phone-free conversation. Many a times we go through the Insta or a Facebook post where they say that when we go for a vacation, it might cost us a good amount. But after a few years, when we look back, we might not remember the amount we spent on that vacation. But what we will remember is small, small pics that we took in those vacations, small things we did on that vacation, the time we spent and the memories we collected on that vacation. That will be remembered lifelong. So we have to collect the memories, even if it comes with a cost. Because at the end of the day, or at the end of the life, it will be the memories that will keep us alive. Just have a look at these story of these two fathers. First one having a income of 40 lakh a year, but in order to earn that income, he misses out birthdays and school functions, travels constantly for work, that means not available in the home whenever required, always promises that he will make up later. Make up later. That means postponing, and tomorrow never comes. Later never comes. On the other hand, there is another father who might not be earning that much, even less than that amount, but he always reaches home by 7. And after reaching home, he plays with his children. whatever game they like. He attends every PTM and school event and reads bedtime story every night. I would like to share my personal experience with you. My daughter, when was admitted in the school conducted one induction program for the parents. And as usual, most of the time as it happens in our families also, that when it comes to school and school programs, generally the mother is required to be there. But my wife, my spouse is working, and on that day she was not available. And I did visit and attended that induction program. And I was surprised to note that in a group of almost 20 to 25, I was the only father that was there, and all were mother. The school conducted certain activities involving me and my daughter, means parents and their children. And those activities, if we think as a societal norms, would feel foolish to us or will feel embarrassing to us as a male person or a father doing those activities. But at that time, I was not a male or a female, but I was a father of my daughter. I enjoyed each and every activity at that moment and made it sure that my child, my daughter also feel proud of me that my father was there to do all those activities. We need to understand this thing that every PTM or a school event that we attend for our child, it gives a different level of boost in the confidence of our children. My child might perform even for a second on a stage, but just making him realize that I was there to watch him that 1 second on the stage, make him feel special. Make him feel this thing that my parents, my father, my mother, my near dears values me. They value my every single achievement, every single performance, every single thing, and they understand me on for them. It's me who is important. Giving this confidence to a child that he or she is the most precious thing in our life just make them so much confident, give us such a boost to their confidence that we can't even imagine. And it's only during those initial years, it's only during those special years that it can be done. If we think that at later, as I said, I will make up later, then later on we will be able to do, and by that time, the damage has already been done. The children have started taking our absence as a general norm. They have started not expecting from us any more of our presence. Many times we complain that our family consider us as only ATMs. They consider us only to be the bread earner of the family, who is only required when some monetary requirement is there. But have we ever understood which of our actions or which of our non-availability has made them think so? Family always wanted us, along with, no doubt, along with the money, but they wanted us. If we had never been able to give them this support or this confidence, ki, okay, I am available there, they will definitely consider us only to be a ATM or a money churner. So it's us who have to make our position in the family not only as a ATM but as a very unique and very integral part of their sentiments, of their emotions, of their daily routines, of their every growing up moment with the children, with our spouse needing us in the time of any sort of problem dealing with the children. Our parents requiring us to look at or discuss with certain things which they might feel uneasy about. It's our presence that matters. So in this, the father with less amount of income will be remembered more by the child, because think from the point of view of a child, not from the point of view of an adult. Our children never remember expensive gifts. That is momentary, very much momentary. For a second, he might or she might be happy with the expensive toy or a robot or something like that printed, but they remember available parents. A toy is brought, played, and just put up in the side, but a memory of a parent who showed up carried for a lifetime. My daughter or a son, whenever there is any special day or not, even not if there is no special day, still make it sure that they give me some sort of card or some sort of small thing. As I said, my daughter is small, so she makes small tea and other things, like we play with the kitchen things and everything, and serve me imaginary basis, and I make it sure that I make her realize that every small serving that she has made for me is important for me. But if I keep on ignoring her or keep on moving away from her, that it's silly thing, or I am not to her age, or it's not good at that time, or I am always busy, or for that matter, even if I am not even present for her to enjoy those things, slowly and slowly, I will keep on making a distance with her. The time will come when I would like her to talk to me or discuss with me or share with me, but by that time, she had already found someone else or something else to spend time with. At that time, when we'll start complaining about not cooperating or getting not easy with them, dealing with them, the just sit back and think who was at the fault at the front. Children are very raw. The type of environment, the type of confidence that we provide them makes them ultimate their character. But it's us who have to make them realize this thing, that they are special to us. They means a lot to us. And even if we have to switch off our phones or skip certain meetings in order to be present with them on their special moment or whenever they require us, that's more important for us. As a chartered accountant, what's busy season end? Have we ever seen our season ending? At present, the type of work we are doing or the type of offices we are dealing in, I never see a single moment when we can say the season has ended, because there is no season actually. It's us who make it a busy season or a easy going season. This season is busy after audit, after GST, after year end. It keeps on going in a loop. It never ends. It never gives us a time to come and sit, because we are always on a moving mode. We don't stop and think. We don't put a comma to our workings. We don't take breaks. Every deferral feels reasonable in isolation. But busy seasons become busy years, and busy years become childhood memories lost forever. As I said, every passing day is gone. It's not going to come back. Every missed PTM is gone. Every missed annual function is gone. Every missed simple small date with spouse is gone. Every missed parents' healthcare or just sitting with them for a quiet morning or evening is gone. They are not going to come back. The deadlines are real, but so is the time slipping away. Time is the only thing that get lost while we are running. We teach clients and practice in the offices about the time management. But in that time management, how many times we have included this quality family time in the in to fit in that management? Just because these are non-monetaries, just because they are not going to give us a paycheck, doesn't mean they don't deserve our time or our involvement or our presence. It's not giving us a financial benefit, but it's giving something much more than financial benefit. Much more than financial benefit. And that's where it important. If your family had to choose one additional lack of income or one additional hour every evening with you, which would they choose? The impulsive question may be, they always want more money. They always want additional income because they have to fulfill their lifestyle. But just ask yourself, who made them this money minded? Our families are not waiting for bigger house. They are waiting for us present, unhurried and fully there. Even if a big mansion with more than 10 rooms or 6 rooms or 5 rooms or something like that, still they require the small corner where we can sit together and talk about something which is personal. The reflection isn't meant to create guilt. It means to create awareness that leads to choices. We have to think about it. We have to ponder upon this thing, that is the family really require additional money, or do they require us? And let me guarantee it, if you will ask your parent, if you ask your small child, even if you ask your spouse, the answer will always be we the first. Given a choice on any day, it will always be us whom they want. It will be always be our presence that value them. It will be always be our attention to them that will always require them. So we have to think from their perspective, from their opinion, from their evaluation. The second thing that we need to understand is that listening creates lasting bonds. We have to be a good listener. And as we say, communication is never only about speaking. We always work on our communication skills. And in those communication skills, we always see that how to deliver, how to communicate. But communication is never completed without listening. Many a times we need to listen. Listen not to judge. Listen not to react. Listen not to give opinion, but listen just to listen. Because the person whom we are listening might not be interested in what we think about it. He might not be interested in what we opine about it. He might not be interested in think ki what we are going to judge him. But he is only interested in giving out whatever is his and her heart. Whatever is going on in his brain. He just want to spell it out. And that's where we are required. Speaking shares what is on your mind. listening shows that what is on their mind matters to you. We have to come to that point that what is on their mind matters to you. We have to give him that confidence that whatever you speak, whatever you think, I totally empathize with you. That distinction changes everything in the relationship. Because the moment we start listening with a clean slate, with a clear mind, we will start understanding their opinion. We will start understanding their viewpoint. We will start analyzing the things from a different perspective. And that's where is the change required. This is a normal routine. This happens day in, day out. Phone interrupts. Phone rings or a client calls mid-sentence. Laptop opens, device is open, focus shift to work. Child starts speaking, eager for attention, and conversation ends. Child is left hanging, interaction stops. We try to give our attention to the children. We try to spend time with our spouse. We try to spend with them. But as a phone call of a client comes, immediately our attention shifts. We tell child to stop in between. Client is asking for something. Sir, please tell me how much GST is due today, or I have to deposit in the current month. At present, ITR is getting filed. Sir, please tell me how this tax has been calculated. We immediately open our laptop. We immediately open our softwares and start responding to the client, even though it's after the office hours. We never want to say no to our clients, but we are always ready to say no to our children or spouse or parent who want to converse with us. We want them to understand that client is important to us, but we never try to make our client understand this thing, that this is my family time, this is my child's time, this is my spouse time or a parent's time. I am discussing with them. We can discuss this tax, GST, etc. tomorrow, or after some time. But at present, I am busy with someone whom I matter the most, or who has come eagerly to share his or her day schedule, or his or her little achievement in the school, or his or her little problem in the school that is going on, or a little problem going with our spouse in his or her workspace, or otherwise at the home, or even at a personal level. We need to understand that something which is to be said at a particular time needs to be said at that particular time. If we don't understand or listen at that time, it is going to matter, or his importance or intensity will reduce for the person who wants to communicate with us, because we are not listening. We don't lend our ears to their call. This sequence plays out in countless homes every evening. It takes less than 60 seconds, but the message it sends to a child or a spouse lingers for longer than any phone. Just see the expression on a child or a spouse or parent's face when you stop them in between of their sentence or in between of their conversation, just to have your financial business taken care of. You will realize how much disappointed they get, how much bad they feel that something they wanted to share with your own child, parent, or a spouse, he or she doesn't have a time or does not consider it important. to converse with. This is a story of a 1 minute. Little girl waits for her father all day. She has been bubbling with excitement. Something wonderful happened at school and she wants to share every detail. She might have been praised by his or her teacher for doing something extraordinary or something which she never thought she would be able to do. She might have got 4 stars or 5 stars in certain things, which she wanted to show you that she excelled in something. She is waiting with an excitement that when my father will come in the evening, I will make him surprise or I will tell him something which I have earned today. Waiting every minute, looking at the door every time that when the door will open and the father will come in. Father enter the home and she runs to him and says, Dad, today. She has just merely started explaining what she wanted to say because she had been waiting for it since long. But father says 1 minute beta. That 1 minute, that 60 second brought the hell upon his whole excitement that she had been doing. That single 1 minute may be very natural or very genuine also. But for that child who has been waiting for this very moment since long, that 1 minute said by you led as a sword on all her excitement, on all her bubbliness that she has been. And that 1 minute becomes tomorrow because if you can't listen to her at that moment or that very time, that means it's not important to you or it's not in a priority to you. And since it is not an important and priority to you, you will consider it only when you don't have anything else as a priority to do. And that will never come. And eventually, what will happen is the child stops telling because she knows, but she starts getting an impression that you don't value her time. You don't value her as a priority. You don't consider her conversation to be important or the sharing that she wants to do with you to be important. Not because she stopped loving him, but because she learned that her stories had no space in his world. This very feeling that her story has no space in his world make him feel ignored. Just imagine the type of dent it will put on her confidence that the someone whom she trusts or someone whom she always sees as her superhero, because it is always said that father is the first superhero of her child. If that superhero is not ready to listen to him or her, or if that superhero is not available for when she wants him to be, the type of damage it creates on a child's mind can never be understood by us, and it always results into something devastating at later stage. But till that time, damage had already been done and there is no going back. People stop sharing before relationships stop existing. By the time the silence is noticed, the habit of not sharing is already deeply formed. Door doesn't close suddenly, it closes one answered moment at a time. We come to our home, always busy, not talking to our spouses, not sharing with them our problems, not listening to their problems, not becoming the part of their solutions, slowly, the relationship ends. It's a silent killer, a cancer that creates or emerges over the period of time in the relationship. In current scenario, when we see lot many problems in the marital situations, it's not always about egos. It's about lack of listening, lack of understanding, lack of listening and forming a understanding the other's opinion. Because we have stopped sharing, we have stopped talking, we have stopped discussing, but we have started arguing. Argument is always there when we don't listen and react. The starting of an argument is always a reaction. Reaction which a person communicating does not expect. Many a times it happens that a conversation that starts very normally ends into an argument. The reason being, we start reacting without listening, without understanding, without processing in our minds. Our spouse doesn't always require judgment or a reaction. It requires only listening, clean, pure listening. And you will realize one thing, not only with our spouse or with anyone else also, the moment you start not reacting and only listening, they themselves will realize where they were wrong or they were right. Because you have not judged them. You have not reacted to their situation, but you became a part of their emotional outburst. You became empathetic to their emotional outbursts. Have you ever seen people going to the psychiatrist? What does psychiatrist do? Psychiatrist only requires people or a patient whosoever has visited him or her to speak. Speak as much as they can speak. Reason being, they only just want to understand what's going on inside the person. What has made them react in a manner which has made them to come to a psychiatrist? They only listen. They only listen and note certain things just to see what the person is saying. They rarely react. And even if they react, they only react in a manner which does not offense the person or a patient. And that is the reason why people who are not being listened speak so much in front of the psychiatrist. Because they know that there is someone who is listening to them. And that's in place of psychiatrist, we need to be there as a person. Because it was the first we whom they approached, but we never listened. It was we whom they wanted to share with, but we never listened. It was we whom they wanted to be present at that moment of disgust or at the moment of crisis, but we were not present. So, relations are built with investing in the time in those relations with our presence, with our listening, with our empathy. It's advice versus attention. For clients pay handsomely for your advice. You give it willingly, patiently, and with complete focus. Just take a view on this thing. Whenever we have a meeting with the client, we get so much attentive, so much focus, so much think, okay, whatever you say, I am there to listen to you. You listen to understand their problem before you speak. But The moment in place of a client, it's our family. Family doesn't need your professional advice. They need your undivided only attention. But what has happened is over the period of time, it has been our training, our upbringing, and everything that we have become more of a chartered accountant, more of a professional rather than a family person. Advice is optional. They can take it from Google also. They don't require you for that matter. And this is the hard reality. Today's time, even ChatGPT is much smarter than you. So whenever we think that clients need our advice, always remember one thing, that client has already taken the advice from the ChatGPT, Google, or all those the friends, accountants, etc. They have only come to you to test your knowledge, whether you know this thing or not, because they have already taken it from different sources available with them. They are testing you. They are taking the test of your knowledge and not taking your advice, but we feel that we are advising them or they are working on our advice. They are only validating it or getting it validated from us. But when it comes to family, it's not that. They are not judging you. Rather, they don't want them also to be judged, but just need your undivided attention. Attention is priceless. No one else can give it in your place, because the attention that spouse can give to his or her spouse, no one else can give. And if at all there is any option, that means you are leading to a devastating family breakup. No good attention can be given by the parents to their children. But if there is any option available with them, that means slowly, you are getting out of their world. And getting out of the world of your own family is the first scenario that a human being can have in his or her lifetime. There is a 10-minute rule, a simple, powerful practice that can transform the emotional climate of your home. Every evening, give someone in your life, family, 10 completely uninterrupted minutes of your presence. Just 10 minutes, 600 seconds. It's not big deal. Uninterrupted minutes of your presence. Uninterrupted minutes means no interference, no interruption at all. Even if it's TV, it's anything else or what, just you and the family. Nothing else. No devices, no phone, no television, no emails, no, just a second. Nothing else exists for those 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, just think about that the world doesn't exist, but whatever exists is you and your family at that time. Forget about those in those 10 minutes that you are a chartered accountant. Forget about in those 10 minutes that you are CEO or CFO or some entity. Forget about in those 10 minutes that any of the client even exist. Forget in those 10 minutes that there is any concept of email or mobile phone at all. Go back to the dark ages. But in those 10 minutes, just be there. Just listen, don't solve, don't advise, don't redirect. Simply listen with your eyes, your heart, and your full attention. Listening just not from your ears, that whatever pours into it moves out from the other ear. No, listening to process it, listening to grab it, listening to understand it, listening with your eyes, heart, and your full attention. Just focus on the person face, what at the time when he or she is speaking. Just think about what type of pain he or she is going in through, what type of emotions he or she is going through, what he or she want actually to convey to you. Might not be through her or his words, but through her non-verbal communication. But that can only be possible if during those 10 minutes, our whole soul attention is with him or her. At that moment, in those 10 minutes, 600 seconds, it's only and only that person that matters me the most in the world. Now convert these 10 minutes into a week. It becomes 70 minutes of connection that most families never forget. Just 70 minutes in a week. If we can't provide these 70 minutes in a week to our family or the ones whom we claim to be, we are working for them. Whenever we ask someone, sir, aap kiske liye paise kama rahe ho? The immediate answer is, we are doing it for our family. But are we doing it actually for our family? Because if we can't give 70 minutes out of those 7 days in a week to our family, what's the fun of these earning these hard works, burning midnight oils and everything to earn or impress the client or earn big checks or bank balance or properties, etc. Just imagine what those 70 minutes, how much time, or otherwise we spend so much of time on our phone, laptop, doing this thing or other thing, listening something or other thing, but not spending the time with our family. You can't even realize that these small 10 minutes, the difference it can make between you and your bonding with the family, with your child, with your spouse, with your parents, with your siblings. The time we are going through is that everyone is confined to him, his mobile, his laptop, his 4x4 cubicles. We don't eat together, we don't sit together, we don't move together because we don't have these 10 minutes. How each family member reads your attention? As a child, children interpret attention as love. When you look up your phone and truly listen, they feel deeply and wordlessly that they are worth your time. Just think from the psyche of a child. For him or her, your every single moment of presence without any disturbance with him or her is your love for him or her. It's priceless and worth more than the costliest of the gift that you can give him or her. Just on one day, just ask your child कि बेटा, if on a particular birthday I am not able to give you a costly gift, but I can have a good party with you, with your friends, enjoying all those things, what will be the choice? And you will be surprised to note that the child will take the second option. For him or her, it's you whose presence, whose celebrations together is more important. Burning crackers on Diwali, playing colors on Holi with your children. That first point of color that your child put on you, that is her achievement. She considered it to be so much fulfilling that I put a color on my father or a mother. I was the first one to do it. that's his or her achievement. It's more about his enjoying that thing. Every time he or she burst a small cracker with you or buy a small cracker with you, that's her or her achievement of that festival. For him or her, that festival means spending time with you, celebrating that festival with you. The whole world doesn't matter to them because for them, you are their world. From children to adults and spouses, our attention means listening as a respect. They value us that for us, for we, we respect their feelings. Our attention make them feel respected. Our attention make them feel valued. Our attention make them feel important. When your partner speaks and you genuinely hear them, you affirm that their thoughts and feelings value. That make them feel that whatever he or she is saying to you, it values to you. You understand their thought, you understand their feelings, you understand their emotions. That very aspect of understanding, that very aspect of listening, providing attention to their details, make them feel emotionally strong, make them feel emotionally fulfilled, make them feel emotionally loved, make them feel their importance in the house and the family. And when it comes to parents, parents interpret your attention as gratitude. Gratitude or a thanks of acknowledging their security, their hard work over of all these years of bringing you up. Simply being there, visiting, sitting, listening, tells them that everything they gave was not forgotten. If we consider that it was their duty to bring us up, then we are wrong. It was not only their duty, but it was their love. It was their care. And when now it's time to pay back, it's our responsibility, our duty to give them that care and gratitude for whatever they have done or whatever they have worked for us to be in this situation that now we have become the parents. Just consider yourself too at the place of them few years down the line. What feeling you will have when your children will ignore you or not give attention to your needs or your feelings or your emotions. Always remember one thing, that life cycle is goes in a round way. What you go through comes back to you one day or the other. The moment we start realizing or we start accepting this very hard fact that today whatever we are doing or whatever place we are is, tomorrow we are going to be on the other side. We are going to make shift the roles from child to adult to parents to parent. The very that day we start acknowledging, we start responding in a manner because we know that if we don't behave in the manner we are required to, we don't pay attention to our parents and adults, spouses and children, tomorrow we are also not going to be given attention with. And just realizing that thought, simple thought of not getting attention when we require it, will definitely make us hollow in our in within, and we will get terrified by the very that thought when we are not given attention when we require it. This is an honest reflection. When your spouse speaks, are you truly listening? Or are you simply waiting for your turn to reply? Are we listening? Are we giving an attention that the spouse requires from us? Or is it only the time to react? Like we have seen in two players playing chess. One plays his or her turn, and when he or she finishes her turn, he clicks on a watch. That means now it's your turn to respond. Are we doing it in this way? Maybe we might not get a turn to respond. Maybe we might not get turn to reply. But that doesn't matter. What's important in that particular conversation is who was required to speak. It was your spouse. Your role in that conversation was only limited to listening. And that you have to understand. There's a profound difference between hearing words and receiving a person. Because when we start receiving a person, our mind automatically tells us when to react and when not to react. Listening is not silence while the other speaks, it's leaning in, making eye contact, setting aside your own agenda with your clear mind, focused on what the other person is saying and genuinely wanting to understand. Please understand, genuinely wanting to understand. You have to put in those efforts as a listener that whatever the spouse is telling means to you. It's important to you. You really want to understand his or her perspective about a thing. You really want to understand what he or she is going through while doing that conversation or whatever she is talking about. That quality of listening is one of the deepest gifts you can give someone you love. Because when your spouse knows that he or she has someone whom she can go and speak about just anything, good, bad, whatever he or she feels, that is the confidence you give it into that relationship, that you are there for her or him whenever required. This very confidence itself boosts the confidence of the spouse or the relationship. That very thing of presence, of lending the ears, is the most important factor of the healthy relationship. If you are present 90 to 95% of your on the time when he or she requires, he or she can skip those 5 or 10% missings. But at least he or she knows that you are there. If one few occasions you missed out, it doesn't matter because he or she knows that maximum of the time you are there. And that's what's more important. That's what make it functional. That's what make it more realistic. And it's not very tough thing. It's only our approach to a situation, our approach to a relationship. That what makes it more viable. The third aspect of this thing is presence builds family trust. But what presence? Is presence equivalent to physical availability? Or it's something else or something more? You can be under the same roof and be miles away. True presence is not about proximity. It's about showing up fully in the emotional and mental space your family occupies. Have we realized day in, day out, we go back to our house after the office? So physically we are present in the house. But does our presence in the house really matters, or are we contributing to the family at that with that presence? We go back to our homes and move to our own rooms. We eat dinner in our own rooms or at different times. We drink tea or take tea or other thing at different times, sitting in our individual space, going through our own TV or mobile or laptop, etc. It's more of a mechanical. It's true that we are physically present in the house after 7 p.m., but are we actually present? Where is our mind? Where are our thoughts? If even after getting home, our mind and thought are stuck back at the office, it's better than being in the office. Because when you are in the office, you are at least thinking about what you are doing. But when you go home with the same mindset, with the same problem, with the same thoughts, and with the same workings, what you are doing in the office, so better to be in the office. Why to make the family think that you have come back? At least they can understand, they think that you are occupied in the office. But when you go back home and still in the mind held back in the office, that is more painful. That is more unwanted for the family to understand. This is the illusion of being home. Father on the sofa, laptop open, phone in one hand, television on the background, child playing quietly nearby. He is home, but he is absent. Physically present, emotionally absent. Now just imagine what the child learns. Over time, the child stops reaching out, even though he or she is playing nearby. But for him, you don't exist. Please understand, for him now you don't exist, because earlier when you were there and he or she wanted your attention, you never gave. He stops asking, stops interrupting. They learn without being told. This is the small psyche, because the negative impact of anything on the child's mind or a brain is much, much faster than a positive aspect. And once a negative impact gets on the child's mind at an initial stage, the lifelong time it takes to change, but with no surety that it will change. It makes the child's character, it makes the child personality. That attention lives somewhere else. This very thing makes him feel unwanted, makes him feel that he or she is not the priority. Because, as I said, for them, you are the only world. But the moment they feel that they, your presence doesn't exist in their world, in your world, they start feeling left out. They start feeling ignored. They start feeling useless. Proximity without presence is not a connection. It's just geography. We cannot make our presence countable in the hours or the time spent at home. But we can make our presence countable only by the time, devotion, attention we give at home fully, not physically, but emotionally. There are three types of presence. Family don't need your body in the room. They need all three layers of being. First is physical but natural, being in the same space, showing up to school event, dinners, milestones, not always traveling, not always late. This is physical presence. Mental, being engaged and aware what is happening. Why spouse is off mood today. Going detailing, going through the small things, understanding the each and every movement of this thing, and trying to analyze why that movement is taking. Knowing what your child is studying, what your spouse is worried about, and what matters to your family right now. It's important that you just don't make the fees of your child school, but it's important to understand what he or she is studying. Is he or she facing some problem in her studies, in a particular subject, in particular topic, in particular subject, in particular math problem? Is he or she trying to solve something or draw something which he is not able to? Just asking the child, do you face any problem in any subject, is a mental presence. Just holding his or her hand and helping him to draw a particular character or a particular diagram is a mental presence. Emotional, being responsive and warm. Please understand, being responsive and warm. We have to respond to certain situations. Response can be silent also, but that silence should be engaging. That silence should convey the other person as a you being a listener, not a silence of non-connection, not a silence of indifference. Noticing when someone is sad, excited, anxious, and proud, and letting them know you see it. That's why when I said, when at home or present, just read the non-verbal communications on with your family members. If someone is excited, his actions, his body language will respond in that manner. And when you start reading those body languages, thought reactions, it will make you understand that something is getting exciting. And asking them or querying them what he or she is excited, that will make him more emotional connected. Because they will understand that you are not only physically present over there, but you are reading them, you are taking detailing, you are making them fit, and you are studying them. They will feel more wanted. They will feel more loved. They will feel more engaged with you. Most parents achieve physical presence, but lack on mental and emotional. As I said, you might show up to the school event or a dinner or a milestone, but when you show up their school event or something, you are engaged in your something going on in your brain or in your mind or a back of your brain. So you are not enjoying that very presence. You are not clapping on the performance of your child because you are busy in your phone. So physically present, but mentally and emotionally absent. You missed out each point of anxiety your child might have on your face, on his face while performing, because he was trying to find you physically and emotionally present with him at that point to give him that confidence that come what may, you love him. This is the presence of in all three way, physical, mental, and emotional, that actually make your presence important to the family. Missing out on any of the three legs will make it less impactful, less important, less meaningful to the family. We all are going through the tax season started July, August, September, October. Even while sitting at dinner during tax season, the mind is elsewhere. Today in the office, a particular issue came up with a client. That client is having a big tax liability, how to inform him. Some case has been lost, how to inform the client. The audit is going on, something PP came up and need to inform the client about this thing, finding. So we are sitting on the dinner table, but the mind is elsewhere. The food is there, the body is there, but the thoughts are on. What? Department and deadlines. Tomorrow I have to give a reply to a notice. I have to meet the officer. I have to impress the officer on a particular point. I have to take the case. Portal logging not working. Need to file certain thing, but the portal is not working. Every notice from the tax department that arrives without warning and demands a reply. There are scrutiny and disputes, assessment, appeals, assessment orders under review, and appeals still pending, not being able to file. Just now, deadline of GST appeals was there, which by default got extended to 31st July, but still, till the time it was not extended, it was a huge burden on our minds. The cases that can reopen at any hearing and rarely close on schedule. Sitting on a dinner table, clients and numbers, balance sheets, high liabilities, less there. Bank review need to be done. How to do it? How to manage the financials? How to keep this thing in control? Client queries stacking up and balance sheet that must tie out to the rupee before the books can finally be signed off. Numbers every time. With so much of burden, so much of thought going through in our mind during a dinner table, how can we enjoy that food? How do we expect that the food we are going to take is going to give us the same nutritional value when our mind is not enjoying that food? We are mechanically putting our food in our mouth, chewing it, swallowing it, but are we actually taking the dinner? Are we actually taking the food? Because the science of food says the emotions with which you eat a food is actually decide the impact of your food on your health, on your body. And that's the proven science. If your spouse or anyone who is in the kitchen prepare food with a disturbed mind, the negative feeling of that thing will move into the food and ultimately will not give you that nutritional benefit that you think about from that food. Same thing goes while eating also. If you are not eating the food in the manner it should be ate, it should be taken or it should be eaten, it's not going to serve the purpose for what it was taken. And many a times it turns out to be a negative. It turns out to be a harmful because our body reflect those negative situations in the form of acidic refluxes. There is acidic attacks in our body because the food that we took was contaminated by all these thoughts, all these things that were going through our mind when we were having the dinner. But the family notices. They may not say it, but they feel it because you are present over there. They were waiting for you to have a dinner together. But your presence at the dinner stop feeling like connections. and start feeling like routine. Because you have to eat, that's why you are eating. But you are not enjoying that food. Enjoying that food with your family, not enjoying your food with the time spent together. Each and every giggle that you do, each and every joke you share, each and every small things that you talk about on a dinner table. Not appreciating the nice food prepared by the family. Not appreciating a small gesture of a new sweet dish made for you that you like. So that makes you present physically but emotionally and otherwise absent. And it don't add to anything. What presence and absence communicate? Presence always says you matter. Right now, in this moment, nothing is more important to me than you. But absence says something else matters more. You can wait. You are not the priority right now. Your every absence is your prioritizing. Intentionally or unintentionally. Your every absence reflects your priorities. And when in that priorities comes your family, it has a very big, devastating effect on your relationships. As we went, as we saw in the back, that just 70 minutes of your full presence in a week can act like a catalyst in any. It can work wonders. Just those 70 minutes of uninterrupted presence. You matter. At this moment, it's only you and you who is most prioritized thing in the world. No parent intend to give this message of absurdism or making you realize that you don't prioritize to me at present. My intention might not be this way, but the message, unintentionally, the message that it gave to the child of being not a priority right now determines the impact. I may have an n number of excuses for not being present or being absent. They may be genuine, they may be ingenuine. But your genuine absences can only be justified when your genuine presences were there other times. But if it becomes a habit, it becomes a routine, one day or the other, it results into your intentional absences. Just take a small exercise for all of you. How many meals this week were completely phone free? It has now become a habit for all of us to carry our phones to the dinner table. You don't need to give this answer to anyone, but at least be honest with yourself. When I'm talking about how many meals, it means breakfast, lunch, dinner, evening tea, night coffees, or anything. Not phone on the table face down, not phone in pocket, but checking. Completely, generally phone free. Because when we say that we were not using the phone, it was just kept over there. But let me tell you, in current scenario, it has become such a thing that we keep on looking at new notifications, new likes, new something, new messages, new emails, or whatever it is. Intentionally or unintentionally, our hand automatically, or our eyes automatically, or our focus shift automatically to the screen, which blinks without even not of any use. So when I am saying that completely phone free, it means without at all the phone on the table or on in our pocket, kept somewhere else, kept in the room on a charging, on a side table, even if it's ringing, not ringing, kept on a silent, so that nothing disturbs us, or we don't even come to know that there is a phone call or their phone even exists in our life at that time. Because at that time, what matters to me or what existence to me is the people around me, the food that we are taking together. And when you will genuinely and honestly review this, how many meals this week were completely phone free, the answer you get is the reflection of yours, or is the thing that you all are doing. It's not just a device, but it has become something more prioritized over our loved ones. It has become the option to our loved ones. And the moment it becomes the option to our loved ones, we are getting away from them. Just have this child observation. Dad, who is your biggest client? Father proudly named a multinational company or anyone else. But what the child replies, I thought it was your phone. Because he always sees you going on the phone. Because for him or her, it's only the phone that matters to you. So how can that be a multinational company, your biggest client? That means for you, what matters most is the phone. Out of the mouth of the child, no malice, no agenda, just a simple devastating observation of what they have watched every single day. It's his or her observation. It's his or her understanding of the situation. But is he wrong? But is he not correct? Because children see clearly what adults learn to overlook. Because we have become more intelligent. But over this intelligence, we have forgot to see the things in the much simpler manner. But that is not the case with the child. Child thinks, look at the things in a much simpler manner and the more honest manner. What is the trust formula? The trust formula is time given inconsistency with availability builds a trust. We need to give time to be given consistently, not once or twice, but consistently. Our availability on a consistent basis, that creates a trust. Showing up, keeping promises, and being reachable builds deep family trust. Showing up at every point when you were required to, at every place you were required to. Keeping promises. Don't make false promise to the children, especially to the children. because every small promise broken leads to a dent on her heart, on mind, her brain. Reason being, they take promises very seriously. The concept of pinky promise that we do with our children, cross heart, the concept is they take it very seriously. So every small promise broken, either don't promise, or if you have made the promise, make it 100% sure to keep it. And being reachable, which means what happens? We have so many missed calls in our phones, but when we go back and respond back to those missed calls, the calls from our family is the last priority to which we respond. But it should be the first one. You need to be reachable. Whenever they require you, you are available. You can be reached. Your client can miss out on you. Your client might not be able to reach you at his time of despair. That will make no issue because you can have a XYZ reason for that. But your family need to reach you to you at every possible time. They should have at least have this confidence that whenever they require, they can reach to you. Whenever there is some problem, they can call you. Whenever there is some issue at a school, the child can come back to you. Because the availability at the time when it's most required is more valuable than the availability when you want it to be available. It's not that. Your availability should not be your prerogative when it comes to the family. When it comes to the client, that's definitely. You have to be the master of your own time. When it comes to the client, you have to decide whether you want to be made yourself available at that time or not. Because client need to understand your priority. But when it comes to a family, your availability is prerogative of the family, not yours. It's them who have the first right on your availability. So trust is not declared, it is demonstrated. I trust you doesn't come the time or in a manner when the other person feels to be trusted. It is demonstrated repeatedly over time. It has been old saying that it takes years to build a trust, but seconds to destroy it. So you have to do it on a consistent, repeated manner. You have to take each and every step to build and rebuild and rebuild and rebuild and make it stronger day by day, minute by minute, second by second. And that will only come with a consistency over the time. Every evening you come home early, every promise you keep, every time you put the phone down and look your child in the eye, you are making a deposit into the most important count of your life. Each and every small step of the trust, day in, day out, is creating a strong brick in the pillar of your trust. It's making you dependable. It's making you trustworthy. And that's what is required in the family. Last but not the least of the aspect of today's deliberation is success means coming home. We have forgotten about the real meaning of the success. In the mad rush, we are going in, out, day in, day out. We have forgotten about what success really means. There is a professional success and there is a personal success. Professional success is visible. Plaques on walls, tiles on cards, numbers in reports, and other witness it and applaud. It's external. It's tangible. Then there is a personal success. It's not visible but felt, experienced, intangible. We are the finance professionals. We very much understand what is tangible and what is intangible. So if we go by the modern norms, it's the intangible value of the business or a balance sheet that is much more stronger than the tangible value of the business. That's the valuation formula for the startups nowadays. Intangible value, experience, invisible. And what's that? The warmth of a home. A child who runs to the door when they hear your key. A spouse who smiles when you walk in. These are felt, not framed. No child is going to give you a trophy for that. No spouse is going to give you a trophy for that or paycheck for that. But they feel it. You feel it. Because success is to be felt and it has to be sustainable. The professional success we talked about is a momentary. It's for a limited time. But if we can't enjoy our success with the people who matter the most for us or for whom we were working day in, day out to get the success, if we can't enjoy with them, there is no meaning of that success. Just see who is always there when the office applauds you. Who celebrate first and the loudest and the most genuine pride? Your family. They cheered for you because before anyone else knew your name. They were the one who gave you this strength or a support that come what may, we are standing with you. Go and perform. Rest all came to know about you afterward. They applauded your success. They applauded you this when you delivered. Just imagine when your child gets success in the school, you are the first one to stand up and clap for him or her. Not because of something else, because you know that it's your child who got this success. The same way your parents applaud you the most when you get the success. They are not going to get any benefit from it. They are not going to get any tangible benefit or financial benefit from it. But what they are going to get is the satisfaction, the pride, the sense of belongingness, that it's mine, my child, my spouse, my parents. And when the business struggles, who supports you without condition, without judgment, without an invoice? Your family. They stand beside you in the season no one else sees. In India, we have always seen that the ladies of the house have their jewelry, precious jewelry, gold, etc. with them. But when it comes to the struggle of the business or the struggle of any monetary problem, it's them who come out with those precious jewelries and precious gold to pledge and take a loan against them, loan against gold, so that you can survive. They are the first one to break their own deposits. They are the first one to come out with the helping hand to work shoulder by shoulder with you to come out of any financial struggle or any other struggle. Have you ever witnessed one thing? That the people outside are always with you when you are healthy and strong. But when you are in a hospital or suffering from any problem, health problem or anything else, it's only and only your family that stand with you. It's only and only your family who wakes up at midnight or difficult hours to soothe you at the time of your pain. It's only and only your family that understand your struggle, your pain. Because for them, what matters you is only you. For you, the whole world can matter, but for them, it's only you. So success isn't reaching home late with achievement. Success is reaching home early enough to share them. An achievement celebrated alone is half moment. If I don't have anyone to celebrate with me in the manner without any need of share in the achievement, with clear heart, with clear love, pure emotions, if there is no one to celebrate that success, then that success is not a success at all. The same achievement shared with the people who love you, that is when it truly becomes a memory worth keeping. It can be any smallest of the thing. It can be any anniversary of a particular achievement. But when it is celebrated or it is enjoyed with the loved ones, it carries a lot of weightage. It carries a lot of meaning. It carries a lot of value to it. The award on the shelf. A CA wins a prestigious award, the entire hall rises in the applause. Colleagues congratulate him. Photographs are taken. It's genuine, well deserved achievement. No doubt, everyone is applauding your hard work. But he returns home late that night after doing a party with the friends, after celebrating his success with them. But his child is already asleep. The house is quiet. There is no one to welcome him because the award stays on the shelf. The moment, the real moment, the one where his child would have clapped with sleepy eyes and said, I am proud of you, Dad, was never shared. It passed in silence. Maybe in the morning when the child wakes up and sees the trophy on the shelf, he might inquire. But by that time, your excitement of sharing with the child has gone. Now, do you understand? When you reached back in the evening and your child came running to you, wanting to share something important with you about his or her achievement, but you said, 1 minute, please. Now you understand the importance of that 1 minute. You might have spent a good time with your friends celebrating it, but is that celebration, is that success complete? It's shallow. It doesn't mean anything because the success for whom, uh, because the people from whom you wanted that success was not there to share with you its celebration. A question that deserves an honest answer is, who was the award really for? We always say that we work hard for our families, for their security, their future, their comfort. And that is what is reality. How much do we earn for ourselves? We always do it for our near ones and dear ones, our family. Because how much food, how much clothing, how much everything we require for ourselves. I don't think we actually work for ourselves. We work hard, we give in everything for our families. But if the people we work for are always asleep by the time we bring home the proof, perhaps it's time to reconsider the hours we keep in their name. Because if we can't make them realize, if we can't make them understand our working for them, there is no point of getting those success. And we can make them understand and we can make them realize only by our actions, our presence, our attentions, our listenings to them, not by words. We just can't always give this excuse that whatever we are doing are for them. We are giving more than required hours in the office because we want it for them. Because is it actually for them? They are not even getting it enjoyed. They are not getting it in the manner which we wanted them to do. We couldn't give them 70 minutes of our week and we are talking about millions. What does those millions means if we can't give them that 70 minutes a week? We can't give them the time they deserve. We can't share with them the time they deserve. We can't share with them the success that was meant for them. As we said, who was the reward really for? If it was for them, then why aren't they the part of that celebration? Why aren't the part of their success story? Why aren't the part of the ultimate result of the success? There are two kinds of achievement that we make, professional and the personal. Again, the professional is more of an income, recognition, promotion, growth, visible to the world, recorded in files, celebrated in halls. They are tangible. Again, please note, tangible. But more than those tangible professional achievements, it's the personal achievement. Personal achievement in peace, personal achievement in relationship, personal achievement in health, personal achievement in trust of the family and the near ones, personal achievement in the memories. If we don't have these achievements, there is no use, no worth, no value of the professional achievements. If we can't sleep peacefully at night with our family, it's not an achievement. If we can't keep our relationships intact in a healthy manner, it's not an achievement. If we compromise on our health and create a problem for our family by not being healthy and getting ill, it's not an achievement. If we can't gain the trust of our children and the spouse and the parents because of the time we spend with them and the time we invested in them by giving those 70 minutes of a week, it's not an achievement. If we can't create the memories with the ones we love for or the ones for whom we achieve the successes, it's not an achievement. Personal achievements are felt in the heart, lived in the home, and irreplaceable. Because at the end of the day, when we will be at a stage when instead of income earners, we become the liabilities of the family and the society. At that moment, if we don't have someone whom we gave this sense of trust, whom we gave this healthy relationship, to take care of us or to be with us or along with us, to spend the time during the last time of our life, then every professional achievement achieved during the peak of our life is worthless. It doesn't mean a penny, because you can buy the house with the money, but you can't create a home without the family. You can spend millions on the marriage, but you can't have a good marital relationship without a understanding or a trustworthy spouse. You can buy the costliest of the healthcare, but you can't buy the health. You can have the diamond and the golden picture frame, but you can't have the memories in that, because you never invested in those memories. Your designation retires with your age, your family remains. That's the part and parcel of the life cycle. And it's not just now, it has been since ages. Since the human life came onto this earth, the designation retires. What remains is your family. The title on your business card has an expiry date. Title on your business card has an expiry date. Yes. The time will come when you will become X something, X something. But the relationship with your child, your spouse, your parents, those are the chapters that outlast every professional milestone you will ever achieve. Your title on the business card has an expiry date, but your designation as a father or a mother to your child will always remain. Your designation as a spouse, husband or a wife to your spouse will always remain. Your designation as a son or a daughter of someone will always remain. And that's the designation you need to work for. That's the designation you need to take care about, because it's never having a expiry date. And it is much more than the professional milestones that you spend more time upon, you give more priority about, you give more inputs into, because you are moving towards a wrong direction. What retirement really looks like? At retirement, consider what changes and what remains. When you retire or move back or get older, clients will replace you, because for clients, you are just a service provider. They will find another CA, perhaps a younger one. Life for them continues seamless, because they are in a going concern. Companies will appoint someone else. If you are with someone, your chair will be occupied within weeks. They will not even blink. Their work will go on without you. Everyone is replaceable, but your family will only ever have one version of you. There is no replacement. If you are a father, you will be a father. There is no replacement. If you are a mother, you will be a mother. There is no replacement. If you are a child, you are a child. There is no replacement. No substitute. No one else can be father, mother, spouse, or child that you are to them. That role is uniquely irreplaceable yours. That position of yours was when you were at the peak of your career, and even when you retired from the external world. So that means, come what may, you will always be precious to the family of yours, provided You gave them that trust, that time, that listening, that bonding to make you precious for the family. Now, going again back to the same appraisal that we started with this deliberation with, because we are at the end of this deliberation. It was hypothetical appraisal, but perhaps it isn't hypothetical at all. Every evening, in ways both spoken and unspoken, your family is already evaluating you silently. Children in their own ways, spouse in their own ways, parents in their own ways, but not with forms. They're not giving you marks on the form, but in their brain, in their minds, in their thoughts. They're not rating you because for them, you will always be their son. For the parents, you will always be their son. For a spouse, you will always be a husband or a wife. For a child, you will always be a father or a mother. But with the way they light up or don't when you walk through the door. If they don't feel excited or happy or a smile when you cross them or when you enter the house, that means your evaluation is getting worse day by day. With whether they run to you or quietly carry on, with whether your home feels warm or merely occupied, it is upon the time you invest in that thing. The appraisal has always been happening. It's going on continuously. Although your report card is not presented every year or every weekend or every something like that, but it's an ongoing process and it keeps on changing. It keeps on changing with every step of yours, every point of yours in that process. The question is, are you ready to see the results? Now, again, the same form. If your family were to score you honestly today, how would each parameter look? This is for you to give the appraisal. You have to see how your family considers you on the scale of availability. Target is always excellent, but what's the current rating? Listening, patience, weekend presence, dinner together, phone free time, memories created, emotional support, and trust score. Don't give this appraisal form to anyone, but first of all, you do the self appraisal of yourself and then give it to the family to review it. And the most honest way you will be with you. And if on any of the parameters your family makes you wrong, that should be yours. So first of all, do your self-appraisal, then give this appraisal to the family to review it, and you will know what you think about yourself and what family thinks about you. A question for everyone that if your family had to give ratings today, how many parameters would receive excellent? Don't answer out loud, answer honestly to yourself because it's for you. It's not for the public. It's not for the to be posted on a Facebook or on a Insta or something else. You don't require a trophy or a award for being excellent, but it's for your own appraisal. Because the purpose of this evening is not to judge, it's to pause, to see, and perhaps to begin something different starting tonight. If you are lacking on the things not excellent, still a time is there. Keep on working. Try to rebuild. Try to rework. Try to get something corrected. So, fourth statement to carry home today is salary pays the bills, time builds the memories. Every hour spent at home is a deposit into world that no market crash can touch. Speaking shares information. Listening builds relationships. The most powerful thing you can offer someone you love is your full, unhurried attention. Presence creates trust, not presence in the same room, but emotionally, physically, mentally, genuinely. And the true success is coming home. Success is not just building a career people admire, it is building a family that is always happy to see you come home in whatever way you have. So the balance sheet of a life, because we are finance professional, we are chartered accountant, we always understand the balance sheets. The balance sheet of life is only two major assets: your professional reputation and your personal reputation or a family relationship. Build both with equal care because one creates your living and but the other gives your life meaning. Our achievement is the meaningful life. You are skilled at building balance sheets. You know that a business with only one healthy asset is a business at risk. So if you have a healthy professional reputation but a weak family relationship, the balance sheet will not be as healthy as it looks. Your life deserves the same balanced approach with as much discipline, intention, and care as you bring to your most valued clients. Your family might not be your client, but that is your biggest asset. So, friends, thank you for this evening. But go home, be present, and start tonight because it's never late till it starts. Start doing what is required to get the excellent on each parameter or that evaluation. Thank you, friends. Thank you for the patience hearing. Export. Can we close it?